we're back here. This is round 2 of the sandy wells. This is the first one that failed on me. So we're doing like we did in the first video, pre-mixing some stiff foam. It's a mixture of drilling foam and EzMud. We're going to be sending that down the hole. The old well was way up there, about 80, 90 feet away. So we got to move pretty far away. I'm not going to film the entire process because it's going to be identical to the other well, but I'm filming this because I know the owner of the well is going to want to watch the video. So we got a lesson, we learned on yesterday's well, so we're just going to hopefully apply all that to this and everything goes smoothly. Right now we're currently about 50 feet in the ground, and the geology here is completely different. We haven't even ran into any sand yet. It's just been red mud this whole time. So crazy. You go from right over there to right here. Totally different geology change. Nuts. But the foam and the EzMud doing its job. Now we're at about 58 feet, and I can look at the drill rod and tell that we're in a harder material, maybe closer to sandstone. The rotation pressures are up a little bit higher, and the rod's a little jerky. We've got the engine at a really low RPM to keep the volume of air down. We don't want as much air because we want it coming out like it is. If you really threw the throttle to it, you'd push too much air down the hole and clean the hole. We don't want that. We want the hole to stay full of this foam and EzMud solution so the hole doesn't collapse in on itself like it did before. Alright, we got to about 62, 63 feet. The hole looks good. We're going to go ahead and trip out and install the 10-inch PVC surface casing. Alright, we got the 60-foot piece of surface casing on the truck. It's going in the ground. Alright, right now we're about 50 feet, and we got to get down to 60 inside the surface casing. Whole lot of water down there. That's probably what gave me a fit last time. All that water in the ground. Look, there still is a lot of sand out here. It was just suspended in the foam. Alright, so the surface casing was about 10 inches off of the bottom, and it was flowing around the outside of it. So we went down, cleaned out to about 67 foot. Then we pulled it back up to about 45 foot. We pushed the 10-inch casing down, and then it felt, firm on the bottom. That helped it seal. Prior to all that, we didn't, it was just circulating around it. That's where all that mud came from. It was actually blowing all my air around the outside of the casing, which is not what we wanted. Yeah, good. All right, it's been about 15 minutes. I got high rotation pressures. It's just really broken up rock down there, Got a whole lot of foam. I'm just drilling about 24 inches, stop letting it blow the hole clear. I'm picking away at it really slow. Really don't want to plug anything up, but I'm not in granite yet. I don't think I encountered granite on the old hole till 96. And once that gets to the bottom, that's only like 87, 88. So I got another 10 foot to go after the bottom of this rod. Okay, so now we are a little ways past 90 foot. I was looking to get about 96, but based on my chain, the rock is a lot firmer at this point, so that's good. Hopefully it's competent rock. I'd like to get about another 5 to 6 feet just to feel safe, but right now it's doing pretty good. It's actually leaking around the outside of the surface casing a little bit. We encountered some groundwater at about 80 foot, and it's kind of like washing all the sand away from that 10-inch seat. So I'm drilling really slow because I know I'm circulating some material around it, which is going to be a little sketchy when I go to pull out, but I may just have to pull it out with air. Because basically the stuff, it'll go around the outside, it'll go to try to fill in the void, fill in the hole below the casing until it plugs itself up. So you just hope that not a lot of material goes down in there. But I got a lot of foam going to it. Trying to get it out. Okay, 6-inch casing's going in the hole. There's your 10-inch surface casing right there. Look at the big difference in that. But can you see the granite? We got little chips, gravel, granite. That's good. A little bit of quartz, a little bit of granite, a little bit of brown rock. But about the last 7 to 8 foot, it was pretty solid. I don't have my tripod today, so I film in between segments.
You got the granite?
Yeah! So, what is really ironic here, this is 107 foot, right? So all the way at the top of that white pipe is 107. So I only need 10 foot of what I have here. Right there marks the 87 to 85 foot mark, and it hasn't even given me any issue of the bottom of the hole collapsing in or filling in with trash. I was really thinking I was going to have to blow in more than 10 foot. Right now I haven't had any resistance, so it seems to be going down pretty good. I still may have to blow it in, but you know, so far I have less than 10 foot of fill in. Yesterday we had 10 foot of fill in, so I feel really good about what's going on here today. All right, well, there you have it. We got in all but about 2 foot, so this is my 10 foot mark. This right here needs to be below the table. So we're gonna cut it off, go down and blow it out, and see how far it falls. But I think it only filled in the bottom of the hole maybe 3 feet, which is awesome. All right, so we're going down now. We're blowing it in with simply like a check valve, the end of the drill rod basically. And you can tell we got some white quartz. I think that's where we encountered surface water, is in that quartz. It gave me a fit at around 78 to 80 feet. That surface water in the original well is what gave me a big problem, because as I hit the surface water in the sandy material, that kind of washed away and eroded the sidewalls of the upper portion of the well. So that's why putting in the 10-inch surface casing was helpful here, because we didn't have any of that erosion of the sidewall from the surface down to about 60 foot. Let's see. So you can see my 6-inch casing right there. That theoretically should fall, not unless my math is off. See how it's getting dirty? That's all the stuff on the bottom of the hole. About 7 feet, so that means I had about 7 foot of buildup down there. All this is being washed out of the inside of the casing right now. About the bottom 2 foot of this, it should meet the bottom of the casing. So in about 4 feet, I should be, the sub should be at the base of the casing. gotta do is watch it thump on the bottom. I couldn't show it to you anymore because I was getting pelted with rocks. Stopped at 97 feet is because all the drill rods together should be 100, and I'm about 3 foot off the surface. So I shouldn't have to add another drill rod right here. That should stop. Based on the chain, I got about 30 inches left. That's it, on the bottom, baby. All right, gonna stop the rotation. I'm gonna bring it up slowly, and I don't want the water to get dirty. I think it's probably still leaking around the outside right now. I'm gonna work it for a minute and see if I can get that to seal. Then we're gonna go ahead and pull out, put the hammer on it, and go down and start drilling. Here it is. Went ahead and glued on the last piece of casing. I don't know where my mark is, probably on the other side. We're going to cut it off somewhere in this section here. That way if it falls down a little bit more, we've got a little bit of leeway. But I think we're on the bottom. We should be good. Now we got the 6-inch casing to seat. We got the hole down to 107 foot. And what we just did there, we cut sections off of the 10-inch bell. That way our chips could get down in there. We had to shovel some grit down in there where it would help center the casing and help the casing seat. It was up so far, we would have to let it build up to flow over. And I think we've already encountered water, so it's kind of washing away the grit instead of allowing it to go back down and fill up the hole. If not, you're going to end up having to pump like 95 feet of bentonite. Woo! But hey, we got a good hole. We're at the bottom. It didn't collapse. Let's go look for some more water. What I really want to see is that water kind of stop flowing. Because right now the borehole's filled from the exterior vein, like our surface water vein, because the casing was leaking until now it's seated. So if the water fills up the void around the 10-inch casing, that's what I want to see. That tells me that the seat around the 6-inch pipe isn't leaking, so that means the water can fill up the 10-inch. You do not want surface water intrusion. Once we get to the bottom, if it stops, like if the water flow decreases considerably, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I mean, we could have totally encountered water between 96 and 105, which we may have. Because in normal instances, that flow of water that you see right there would have stopped. But hey, it's crystal clear, so that's good. All right, I'm going to keep drilling. I got 2 to 3 more rods in the carousel, then we'll measure the flow rate. All right, now that I'm off the back of the rig, it looks like we're pretty good. We're probably making some water. I haven't given it that much time. I want to drill, that 20 feet, and if that continues, then we've got a good hole already. The fact that the color that you see there is that blue-gray granite color, that's beautiful. It tells me we're into bedrock. We're not in any of this sandstone, sand material. We're all the way down where I wanted to be. Now, I got to 96 foot on the other hole. That's why I opted to go to 96, 97 foot on this one, as far as the casing is concerned. But I think that 10-inch surface casing is definitely the way to go when we come over here. I'm just going to have to start keeping some in my inventory on the lot. It's twice as much work because you're basically setting casing twice. And yeah, so as long as nothing goes wrong. If something goes wrong, I don't really know how to deal with it. But surface casing seems pretty easy because it's sacrificial. You're just going to leave it in the ground anyways. But awesome. All right, well, we're going to do some drilling. I'm going to eat lunch, fill out my paperwork, and once we get all complete, I'll let you know how deep we are and how much water we get. Our inspector just left. There he goes. He didn't even have to inspect this well. He just drove by earlier and saw us sitting there, so he stopped by. What's up, Craig? Ed says, all right, y'all got it. I'm going home. So he's heading on back to the house. Okay, so we're at 165 feet in the ground. And this is what the well is making right now. It's not bad, but if you look at that, probably making a little over 5 gallons a minute. Maybe 6, something like that. So it could be a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, it looks really nice. I don't know how much is going like down the casing, you know, because I'm seeing what's coming off the skirt, but because it's not completely sealed up, I may be losing some down the hole and into the ground. So I'm going to cut the top 3 rods. That'll be 225 feet. And then if we encounter more water, great. If not, it'll be 225, and you can set a pump anywhere between 150 and 200, and it'll be a great usable well. All right, we're at 225 feet. I went through another vein around 200. I've got about 10 gallons a minute. So it's looking good. We're going to go ahead and trip out and grab it. Okay, well, the rig's all laid over. Got it all grouted. Homeowner's here. We'll be back here in about a month to put the pump system in. And if it settles at all, right there it only settled, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch. So it looks pretty good. But yeah, so I'm satisfied with it. 10 gallons a minute, 225 feet. It's a good day. All right, folks, I'm back in the office. It's 6 o'clock, and it's time to head home. So y'all get a little bit of inside our office. But yeah, so it was a good day. I'm not filming my face because sometimes my lips don't match the words. So it is what it is. All right, we'll see y'all later. Peace.